Hello and welcome. My name is Andrew Grant. In this video we're going to have a look at using SSH with keys, a private key and a public key, to access servers without having to use a password. Normally, to access a server you would SSH space username at IP address of the server and then enter the password as required. I'll just show you. SSH space username at and then the IPv4 address of the server. Press enter the password, and we're now in the server. Great. Works well, has worked well for many years and is an excellent system. However, if you're going in and out of servers all day, entering the password gets it gets a bit tiresome. 2, you can forget. 3, you might be using the different password on the different server and get all muddled up, breaks your train of thought, stops you from working efficiently and doing what you need to do. To use the SSH key generation, we're going to generate 2 keys, a private key and a public key. The private key stays on the client, the public key goes on the server that we want to administer. You can put the public key onto any number of servers. So we've got 2 servers here. We've got server 01 and host name we want, server 02. They're all on the example.local domain, this one as well. And here we're on the client. So now we're on the client. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to now generate the 2 keys that we require. So to do this, at the command prompt, we will do SSH dash keygen, key generation, space, dash T for the type. In this instance we're going to use RSA. There's a number of others, but for what we need and for most general purposes, RSA is more than adequate. It is secure and very standard, so it's ideal. Enter that and then press enter. Generating public/private RSA key pair. Enter file in which to save the key. The default location is the home username.ssh folder, and the file where the key is held is known as ID_RSA. If you were using another protocol, it would be ID_ on whatever protocol you were using. In our case it's RSA, so the file is called RSA. If you want to save it somewhere else other than the default location, this is where you enter the save. But we're going to use the default location, so here we just press enter. Passphrase. We don't need to enter a passphrase, so you just press enter to make it an empty container. Again, same passphrase, it's empty, so we'll just press enter and it generates the key. It saves it in the ID RSA, and the public key is in the ID_RSA.pub. Ignore the little period on the end, so it's in the home username.ssh, and the file is called ID_RSA.pub. And the fingerprint, just here, and username and the host name. And then there's some random art image using RSA 2048 or 2048. So that's 2048-bit encryption. Very secure. clear the screen. We can, if you want, have a quick look at the public key, and here it is. This is the public key. So we've got the SSH and the type RSA-RSA. This is the key, all of this here, and then we've got username at, and then the client. So now we need to push this to a server. We're going to push it to server 01, this one. So if we have a look, there's no SSH folder. So what we're going to do, we're back on the client here. There we go. We're back on the client. So now let's push this to the server 01. We're going to use the IP address. So we do ssh dash copy COPY dash ID space dash I space username, in this case Andrew, at, and then the server IPv4 address, in this case 10.0.0.101, and we press enter. You should get two messages. Info, attempting to log in with the new keys to filter out any that are already installed, and one keys remain to be installed. If you are prompted now, it is to install the new keys. Then it asks for the password of the server. See, it says Andrew at IPv4 address, server's IPv4 address, password. That's the server's password. So we'll enter the server's password and press enter. Number of keys added, 1, and then it says try logging into the machine with SSH username at IPv4 address to check to make sure only the keys you wanted were added. We can, as we're already in the server that we've just done, let's have a quick look, and we've now got a .ssh. So if we look inside there, we've got a file called authorized keys. If we have a look at that file, we can see it's the key that was in the pub, the ID underscore RSA.pub. So we've got the type, command SSH, the type of encryption -RSA, here's the key, and then we've got username at, and then the client machine where we're accessing it from. So if we come back to the client, we're back on the client here. So if we do SSH space username, Andrew in this case, and the IPv4 address of the server, press enter, and we've accessed the server without using a password. Now we need to do it to this server. This is server 2. Again, there's no SSH. We can SSH in, which is how I've done it here. But we need to copy the public key over to this server again. So again, SSH dash copy COPY dash ID space dash I space, then the username and the IPv4 address of the second server. So it's SSH dash copy dash ID space dash I space username at server's IP address. In this case, Andrew at 10.0.0.102. Press enter. Same message comes up. attempting to log in with the new keys to filter out any that are already installed. One key remains to be installed. If you're prompted, now it is to install the new keys. Then it asks for the password of the server. So we'll pop in server 2's password, press enter, and then it says now try logging into the machine with SSH. Number of keys added 1. So let's nip over to server 2 and have a quick look, and we've now got the SSH. So if we have a look at SSH, we've got an authorized key. Let's just do so we can see it without all the other paraphernalia. Authorized keys. So if we have a look at the authorized key, we can see it's the same thing, SSH-RSA, then the key, and then username at, and then the client. So back to the host machine, the client machine, I beg your pardon. Now we're on the client, so we'll do SSH space Andrew at, and then the IP address, press enter, and we're logged into the relevant server. That's all for today. Thank you very much and have a great day.